When I think back to my K-12 education, my stomach drops and emotions of embarrassment and frustration arise. I went to a great school, lucky enough to have the opportunity to get a high-quality education that would prepare me for college and life after that. I had the same classes that we all took growing up: math, science, English, social studies, you name it. But there was one problem. I wasn't a great student. Well, actually, I wasn't really even a good one. Skipping classes and not turning in work became routine. Getting scolded by my parents for avoiding homework and failing tests became second nature. And ultimately, my perception of learning and confidence was suffering tremendously. I quickly realized that my strengths were only revealed through the classes that allowed me to express my creativity. At all other times of the day, I didn't have the confidence to bring something new to existence or use my creativity to solve problems because I was constantly dwelling on what my past failures were and comparing myself to classmates who were somehow succeeding. Like most students graduating high school, I didn't really have a clue what I wanted to do. I just knew that the next step was supposed to be college. I applied and was not accepted here at Miami University's main campus. Disappointment was an understatement. My perception of myself weakened even more. My friends and family questioned if I would ever find my passion, let alone even graduate from college. But the truth is that you probably don't need to hear about my high school struggles. You had your own experiences, and maybe you're thinking to yourself right now, did I shut the garage door this morning? Or how much you'd rather be in bed? Maybe you're thinking about your own TED Talk. But that's kind of my point here. Think about all the people sitting around you right now. Take a look around. Every single one of you have your own problems, your own thoughts, your own experiences, your own unique lives. No two people in this room are alike. This idea is called sonder, or the sudden realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own. After becoming aware of sonder, I began to think about how each of us are living such different lives. How could we possibly follow the same path? How is it possible that we all go through school learning the same way as our peers and taking the same test to decide where our futures will stand? All of this when there is so much more to each of us. We all have varying strengths, passions, home situations, and life experiences. And this uniqueness in humans will continue to exist from generation to generation. This seems obvious, but I never truly understood that my uniqueness is a good thing until I had a teacher that opened my eyes. It's amazing how much one person was able to shift my mindset to become proud of my differences and build confidence in my strengths. Ultimately, with my mentor as a guide, I found purpose in life and have complete confidence in my ability to have a positive impact on the next generation going through the same struggle. When you are focusing on something that you are good at throughout your educational experience, you are practicing something called strength-based learning. Leah Waters, a psychology professor at the University of Melbourne, says, focusing on strengths produces greater levels of happiness and engagement at school and higher levels of academic achievement. It shouldn't be in our college years that we finally discover our strengths and take full advantage of them. If you asked me 4 years ago where I would see myself today, I never in a million years would have imagined that I would be standing here in front of you today talking about turning my passion for education and creative expression into an action. The interesting thing about creativity is that it's valued by most of our population, yet it's so elusive. When I tell people that I'm studying to be an art teacher, the first response I get is, wow, I could never do that. I don't have any artistic talent. But the real question is, why do we assume that a rare artistic talent is required to be creative? Let's look at it this way. I didn't wake up one day and know how to read without being taught. We aren't born knowing how to run. We simply have not practiced it yet. We also don't grow up learning how to draw without someone teaching us. It's the same concept. Ken Robinson, an international speaker and advisor on education, once said, "We don't grow into creativity, we grow out of it." In fact, we use up to 80% of our potential creative energy at the age of 5. And by the age of 12, we're using around 2%. One bad childhood experience where our creativity is crushed can severely inhibit us as adults. Creativity needs to have a chance in the world of education. I believe our job as an educator is to cultivate creativity and allow students to grow and flourish in their own unique ways. Creativity and confidence are qualities that can take you literally anywhere in life. And thanks to teachers and mentors who have opened my eyes to this reality, I now know that I can be, do, or have anything in this life. This is what children of all ages should be learning about themselves. So how can our students discover their own creativity and confidence? One answer is through strength-based learning. Strength-based learning is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Designing experiential learning that helps students identify their strengths and then developing and applying those talents in their learning. Simply put, let's focus on what the students do well. However, it sometimes feels natural to do the opposite by paying attention to weak areas where there's a lack of skill and can deceivingly seem like the best way to help children grow. The issue with focusing on skills that kids don't have, as opposed to focusing on what they do have, is that kids end up becoming disengaged and feeling hopeless. Trust me, I know from experience. That is why I advocate for building creativity and confidence, and that is why I want to become an art teacher. So we as educators can help future generations begin from a place of strength, possibility, and openness. Thank you.